When I left school I was fishing for a living, and in all sorts of small boats off the south coast here where it's quite rough this side of the island. So the boats were quite a critical thing, but I was building and small wooden boats, and then moved on to fibreglass hulls that I used to fit out, and rather than build the actual shape. So I started to learn boat building through that. That was probably 5-6 years, and then after that I was lucky enough to sail to Australia in a square rig ship. During that time we went across to South America and South Africa, and there was various small catamarans around the world that I saw, which gave me the main inspiration for building a catamaran. There was nothing available in Europe at that time. And then the other catamarans around the world tend to be very high powered, big outboard engines burning a lot of fuel, so obviously not suitable for this country, because this country's fuel costs back then was still high, or even higher now. So when I came back from Australia I decided to build and design my own one, and it was very good and it was very successful, and then local fishermen wanted one. So we took a mould from the wooden one, and then that's how Cheetah Marine started. We had the ultimate test ground because here at Ventnor Beach it was quite rough. We pushed the boats down the beach by hand and then come in the surf. So the boat had to be strong because it landed on the beach fast, in big waves. It had to be light enough to push back down the beach, and shallow draft enough to be able to get in over the rocks and things. So from that moment onwards we then started developing bigger boats, different boats for different projects. And over the years we've ended up building boats for hydrographic survey, for the leisure market, for harbour patrol boats, and still fishing boats. So we've got quite a wide range now. That has really made the business grow and grow. From the early days we employed good craftsmen and skilled people on the boat building, which meant that the boat building developed at a proper pace, but with clever people in charge of their own areas, like the moulding side of it, the engine side of it. So soon I gave up fishing, but then it's only been in the last 4 or 5 years we've developed other things, from moving down here to the seafront. The boat trips we do, which is the lobster safari, is successful. People love coming out on the boat, they really enjoy it. But we also use the boat as a demonstration boat. It all ties in, and we build the boats for Jeff Blake in his fishery, and now quite a few other fishermen that are in here. The quality of the boat means that Jeff can fish at sea in rougher and rougher weather, he can get good catches in, and then he markets it and sell it from his development in the harbour. And also the fish goes straight from there to the restaurant downstairs. So all these businesses are interconnected, which is, I think, why they work, because then we don't rely on one specific thing. When the land came up for sale by the council, they wanted tenders to come in to see who could create a project down here. It needed to be relevant to the harbour, or it needed to be commercial. It wasn't for residential. Our vision was boat building at the western end, something that would suit the paddling pool and the leisure and the holiday market, and obviously run the harbour at the same time and try and make it efficient to run the harbour. So it's actually been a real success. For this development down here, it was always going to be a diverse, different businesses. We get a lot of positive feedback now with the quality of the building, definitely the quality of the seafood in the restaurant, and the same with the fresh fish from the harbour, and the fact that the harbour is working and there's a lot of people working in it, and there are jobs created. The whole area is somewhere around 45, 50 jobs. It's not an easy harbour to be a success because it's very open to the weather and open to collecting huge amounts of seaweed and sand, which is our biggest probably challenge with the harbour that we've got. We've always diversified, so we've always built boats to order and what people want. So because we're quite a niche market and we can make anything within the realms of our designs, it means that if someone wants an 8-metre catamaran to do a hydrographic survey job, and it's very specific, then that's what we're good at. And we're not mass production. We're more niche market, which is higher value product, smaller number, but they maintain their value as well. A good lot of technology put into something, fairly small numbers and fairly individually based. is really the way to go in England. If it's a mass-produced thousands and thousands of them, you need to take it to a different country. I think any boat building business is a challenge to make sure your product's right, your staff are motivated and keen. Good staff is important. I think the island has some good people, but you still need to keep on top of all that. As with any business, there's more and more red tape involved, so that takes a lot of your time away, so that's difficult. However, starting with a new project like this in a new building, that's much easier to get right. So it's a very bespoke building, built for what we want to do. You've still got to get out there and market it. There's a little bit of where the pound's weak. We've sold a few boats through Europe, which has been good. But then where the pound's weak, everything that comes in, engines, our materials for the boats, that's gone up a lot in price. So I think you sort of win one way and lose the other. We normally have 3 or 4 young guys that we train here to go to college. We find the best method is to train them here in welding, wiring, electrician, fibreglassing, whatever. We probably don't take advantage of enough support because we're so busy building our boats that we sort of that comes a little bit low on the list. At the moment, we're increasing export to Belgium and Holland. And we've got 1 in build for Holland and 2 ordered, and we've sold 2 boats over there. We've just sold a boat to Portugal. We've got a hydrographic survey boat 2 actually, in Italy. Our first one in Spain is sort of nearly on the cards, and we've done a couple in France. So not a huge amount over the years, but we're building that. So probably now what we need to do now is actually market abroad more. Maybe even look into the future of having a dealer down there. So it's got potential, but we probably haven't explored that enough. Our marketing varies between magazines and boat shows and websites. So our main boat shows in the UK are Southampton Boat Show, International Boat Show in September. That's more a leisure market boat show, but we do get quite a few commercial guys coming through as well. But that's backed up with magazine write-ups and editorial, and with our own website marketing as well. And we've built, since we started in 1990, we've built something like 280 boats. So we've got a lot of boats out there. So they're marketing themselves now, which is why it's very important to keep each boat good, keep the quality up, and sell the right boat to that person, that what they need and what's going to work well for them. We've had support in travel for when we've travelled to various places. We did a big game fishing boat for Bermuda, which was successful a few years ago. So we've had a little bit of support in travel, mainly to get places, which all helps. There's been some business advice, especially when we built a boat for Saudi Arabia, and that we did need some advice for that, and that helped a great deal. The boat was very successful. It's a hydrographic survey boat again, and it's working there, and it's gaining a lot of interest, and we're fairly close to doing some more deals over there. Probably because we're on an island, all our materials have to come over here, and then our boats, our smaller ones, go by ferry on a trailer across to the mainland. So there is an added cost to get everything here and manufactured and away again. But that's outweighed by the skill base on the island and the fact that the island is quite renowned for its composite industry and boat building industry as well. Customers like coming to the island, and it's sort of, if they come to the island and make the effort to come over, you know that they're genuine and keen. So that actually helps a little bit. So there's more benefits than there are downsides to being on the island, I think.